oh man, what another day to be an Arsenal fan, am I right? Another day to be an Arsenal fan. Alright. So everybody, first of all, I want to apologize for ending my stream pretty quickly, like I did uh, earlier. I had a little bit of a family emergency that just I I couldn't do anything about, and yeah, so I wasn't able to react to the rest of the game, unfortunately. But I was able to watch the game as much as I was able to do so, and I was able to look at the highlights again. Yep. Okay. Um, First things first. Good win. It's very important that we got the win today. Um, Manchester City had won their game, and we needed to win. Right? It was that simple. Gotta win, and we won, and we're back on the top of the league. Okay, so that's very good on our part. Um, let's see here. But regardless, City won their game. It was very necessary that we won our game. And we did. We came back and we won our game. We did what we needed to do. And I think that was a good result. Mainly because we're able to win these games. And these are some tough games, right? This is a tough stretch of our season. And we're able to claw these victories. Right? And so when it gets a lot easier, which it will get a lot easier. For sure. And as it gets a lot easier, I think that we'll kind of have that mentality, and we'll get to the finish line. I truly believe so. You know, sure, it's I don't know if it's sustainable to keep winning by own goals, right? Like I saw a stat that in the month of December, our top scorer was own goals, right? I think there was three own goals to I think our second highest score was Saka with two goals. So it's a little bit questionable. I can't lie. We gotta lock in and score more of our own goals instead of relying on other teams to score their own goals, right? For us. So there is that for sure. But yeah, it's we gotta lock in. Okay, so let's break down the game. The main important thing is that we won. City had won their game against Nottingham Forest, which meant that they went temporarily above us in the table. And so all the pressure was on us to continue to take our place back in the table, and we did so. That's the positive, and I think it's very important to like note that hey, we are are retaining our spot in the top of the league every single weekend. That's good. That's how champions are made. You know? So good on Arsenal for doing that. Hold on, let me fix something real quick. Saka jersey keeps falling off, man. That's much better. All right, let's do this. So, I can't lie. There are a lot of negatives, though. Okay? There are a lot of negatives we got to talk about. The number one negative, I'm going right in. I don't care. I'm going right in. Our offense is dreadful. Our offense is bad. Our offense is terrible. Our offense, our offensive players, our attack, whatever you want to call it, does not look like a title-winning attack. I can't lie. It does not look like a title-winning attack. You look at Man City, right? You look at even Aston Villa. Hell, even Liverpool recently. Their attack looks a little bit more fluid than ours. I can't lie. I really cannot lie. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It is own goals galore. It really is. So, it's not looking good. Our attack is not looking good. I can't lie. Our attack does not look good. And I'm a little bit nervous because that's right, Zix, though. Our attack is just Saka at times. You look at the Wolves game, it was just Saka, right? There's times where it's just pass it to Saka and hope he just pulls out something. And that was the same issue we dealt with last year, the year before. It's just Saka. And it's like, if Saka's not performing well or if he's injured, then we start to run into a little crisis of like, what do we do? How do we figure this out? How's this situation sorted? So there's another issue we gotta deal with. Is can this team play with a striker? And I don't know if we can. I don't know. I'll be honest, guys. I don't know if we can play with a striker. I don't think this team can play with a striker. I think we are set up for a false nine. And that's just what this Arsenal team is. It is a false nine. We're set up for a false nine, and that's just how it's gonna be. So the likes of Victor Gyökeres, I just don't know I don't know if the system works for them. I really don't. Um, the, this game, I have mixed feelings. One hand, I'm like, we got the win, right? Our backs was against the wall again, like it was last weekend. Man City played before us. They temporarily went ahead of us, and we had to reclaim our title back as the number one. Or not our title, but our spot back as number one. And we did that. We absolutely did. But I can't lie, guys. I can't lie. Our attack is looking very, very dreadful. Very lackluster. Lackadaisical. Whatever you want to call it. It does not look functional. You look at all the if you look at all the previous Premier League winning attacks, right? You look at all the previous Premier League winning teams and their attacks, right? Even the weakest Premier League team, which most people would consider is Leicester City, right? You had Riyad Mahrez, you had Jamie Vardy, just scoring goals, bangers, assists, here, blah, blah, blah. They were just cooking teams in the attack. They just kept winning games convincingly. And then you look at like us, and it's like, and like if you look at like teams like Liverpool, for example, where it was like Liverpool last season, it was just strictly Salah, right? It was just Salah scoring all their goals, assisting all their goals. It was Salah, right? Yeah, like the likes of Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz, they helped here and there. But for the most part, it was Salah that was scoring most of their goals, creating most of their attack, assisting. It was Salah. It was Salah FC. That's what they called it. People were like, if Salah went down, Liverpool's done. But this season, I don't see an Arsenal player that is Mohamed Salah. Saka? At times, yeah. But at times, too, I'm like, I need a little bit more from Saka. For him to reach Mohamed Salah levels of last season. Right? And like, obviously people say, I've heard people say, look, everything is distributed evenly in this Arsenal squad, right? The goals, the assists, and that's fine. But at the same time, I don't know, can we keep grinding out these wins? Can we keep like just winning 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 1-0? Is that sustainable? I don't know. I really don't know. So, I'm a bit nervous. I can't lie. The offense looks terrible. Okay? It looks bad. Our attack does not look like it's flowing. Saka and Gyökeres have like zero chemistry. And we're going to get to Gyökeres later on because that, I can't lie, Gyökeres. I'm losing full hope in you. I don't even know if Gyökeres will get 10 goals this season. I'm serious. Like, people think, oh, no, but seriously. Do we truly think that Gyökeres is going to get 10 goals this season? Do we? Because I'm starting to find it hard to believe that Gyökeres is going to get 10 goals. I don't know. I don't know if Gyökeres will get 10 goals this season. I truly don't. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm starting to lose a little bit hope in Gyökeres. Whether it's from just the fact that I just don't know if he plays well with Saka and Odegaard and Trossard, right? Or if he just maybe just isn't the player we thought he was gonna be. And I understand he doesn't get the service he needs. I understand that. But brother, like the first 2 minutes of the game, Gyökeres had a chance to score a goal, and he just does a little flurry kick straight at the keeper. I was like, bro, you don't get many chances. You don't get much service. The little chances you get, you have to put it away. Because I said this 2 weeks ago. The guy is going to be feeding off scraps. Gyökeres is going to be feeding off scraps. So the little bit of service he gets, you have to put the ball away, brother. You have to. I don't know. I feel like he's got to do better. He's got to do much better. And one thing I am a bit critical on Gyökeres is the fact that his movement is just super sketchy at times too. Because people say, oh, he's making the runs, hoping to get the ball. I understand that. He's trying to make the runs behind. I understand that. But what about the movement in the box when Saka's trying to cross the ball in to you? What about the movement of like getting in near post? You know, get on the other side of your defender so when the ball comes in, you can put it in. There's times in the first half where Saka's crossing the ball, the defender is able to kick it away so easily because Gyökeres is on the other side of the defender. Why are you there? Buddy, you got to get on the other side of your defender. Like, what are we doing? You know? I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm losing faith in Gyökeres. I am. And people say, look, give him a chance like we did with Kai Havertz. But it's a little bit different. Kai Havertz isn't known as a gunman. Kai Havertz failed in a different way. Kai Havertz failed in the midfield, went up front, and played well. Do we truly think that Gyökeres can adapt the way that Kai Havertz did? I mean, I don't think so. I don't see him adapted the way that Kai Havertz did. Right? Kai Havertz failed in one position, went to another position, and did well. Is Gyökeres going to be able to do the exact same thing? Will Gyökeres be able to change? Will he be able to play as a false nine? Will his hold-up play get better? Like, these are all the things I'm thinking about. I don't think so. I think Gyökeres is cooked. Truly. I just don't think he's that good of a player. I think we all probably overhyped him a little bit. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. What I mean, is Gyökeres overrated? Or is it the fact that he just doesn't fit in our system? Because as of right now, I'm leaning towards that he just doesn't fit in our system. And that we bought the wrong guy. I just think that a guy like Ekitike or, I don't know, Voltemade would have been a better, right? Sure, a guy who's like a gunman up front, but also is very good technically, very good at holding the ball, has great link-up play, stuff like that. Not just a guy who you have to get that perfect ball into him for him to score a beautiful, like, to score a goal. Beautiful or not. That's just where I am, guys. I just don't think Gyökeres fits in the system. And I think that in a year, or sometime next season, probably in the summer or January of next season, we probably will either sell him or loan him out. I think that's kind of Gyökeres' faith. Unless he adapts. And that's what I said. People always talk about, oh, but Kai Havertz this, Kai Havertz that. Kai Havertz scored 14, 13 goals in a half a season. But Kai Havertz adapted, right? Maybe he didn't adapt enough, or he didn't become a gunman striker, but Kai Havertz adapted and became a pretty decent striker up front, whereas he was terrible in the midfield. Can Gyökeres adapt the same way to change his game, to get better at link-up play? I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't think I'm nervous in the fact that we bought, like, fine, we spent $60 million on it. Right? We spent $60 million on him. It's quite a lot of money, sure. But I think where I am is that I don't like we're trying to get like a striker for our future, right? We're trying to find a guy like that can help us make good runs for 2-3 years. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find that guy that'll give us 2 to 3, 4 years of productivity up front. But I don't think Gyökeres can even give us a year. Truly. So, I think that's what I'm nervous about, because we're going to have to go again in the market and find another striker. We have two options, right? We either get a striker from outside of the Premier League, or we get a striker from another Premier League team. Now, the likes of Liverpool, Newcastle, they're not going to sell us their striker, right? Like, we're not going to be able to get Waltamade out of Newcastle. We're not going to be able to get Ekitike out of Liverpool. Like, that's just not going to happen. So, essentially, we're going to probably have to find another striker outside of the Premier League, or we're going to find or if we would have to go young, if we get a young striker from somewhere else. But that's the only concern that I have, is that if Gyökeres does not work out with this team, we're going to have to go out again and find another striker, and we have to get it right. Because if not, then we're in the same situation again, and we have to go out and get another striker and whatnot until we get it perfect. But there's just not that many good world-class strikers to be just going through all of them like that. So it comes down to, okay, if do we just stick it with Gyökeres and try our best to mold him into that Arsenal striker that we want? Is that possible? The guy's 27 years old. Is it possible to mold his game at this age, right? If he was 22, if he was 21, if he was 20, you could. But he's 27. He's in his prime, right? He's an old dog. It's hard to teach him new tricks. Can we do that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just nervous. I'm like, because if you think about it, people always say, "Oh, we're trying to win the league," but I'm not just trying to win the league this season. I'm trying to win the league however many seasons we can. So if we win the league this year, and next year again we're going, I want to win the league again next year. Is Gyökeres that guy? Is this attack what we need to win the league 2, 3, 4 years? Is this the attack? Is the attack of Trossard, Gyökeres, and Saka going to win us a league this season and potentially fight again for the league next season? I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that this attack, right? If this attack wins us the league this season, beautiful. Awesome. Amazing. I'll be there. I'll be there at the parade. But are we going to win the league the next season? Or are we even going to be competitive the next season with this attack? Is this attack one that we can build a dynasty with, right? You look at Manchester United in the late 2010s. You look at Man City in the Manchester United in the early 2010s, right? Late 2000s to early 2010s. That Aguero or my apologies, Ronaldo, Rooney, I forgot who the third player was. Or like you look at Man City, their attack in the late 2010s. Sane, Aguero, Raheem Sterling. Now that was a multiple league winning like attack. If you look at Saka, Gyökeres, and Trossard, is this an attack that wins a league? Is this an attack that wins multiple trophies? Is this an attack that wins multiple leagues? We have to be honest with ourselves and say, okay, if we scrape a trophy this season, are we going to be competitive next season? Are we going to be competitive for multiple trophies? Is this attack good enough to build something on? Because don't get me wrong, if we win a trophy or win the league, we don't sit back again for another 20 years and not do anything. Is this attack good enough to go on and do many things? Many, like, is this something you can build on? Or are we going to turn into a Leicester where we win the league 1 year and fade off? And then 6 years later, we try to win it again. Or 7 years later, or 8. What is this attack? What is this attack? How is this? What is the definition of this attack? Right? Is this attack similar to Chelsea in the mid-2010s, where they win a league, they have an off year, and they win the league again? Or is this attack a Manchester City, where you win 4 in a row? That's very hard, but is that the definition? Is this attack a Manchester United, where they're always right there, even if they don't win the league, they're always right there? Or is this attack a Leicester City, where we win it 1 year and then we're done? And that's my concern. Is, do you look at this attack and say, yeah, this is something you can build on. This is an attack that's going to win the Premier League, and we're going to build on it and try to win the Champions League. We're going to try to win the treble or the quadruple, or we're going to win multiple leagues in a row. I don't know. Guys, I don't know. I don't know if this attack is good enough to win multiple trophies. Could we win one trophy? I think so. I think we'll win a trophy based off of our whole team, our defense. But there's not one guy on this attack, Saka, Gyökeres, Trossard, who I'm like, yes. Everything is spread out. But the problem with everything being spread out is, when it comes to crunch time, who is the man you turn to get that to get you out of that trouble? Some days it's Saka, but when Saka's off of it, who steps up? It's not Gyökeres. Trossard, here and there, he has his moments. Eze, okay, he has his moments, but Eze hasn't even seen the field in like 3 games, I think. Is it Martinelli? Like, what is this attack? What is this Arsenal attack? Can you define it? Does it make sense? Can you really look at this attack and say, this is an attack that wins multiple trophies, is winning the Premier League, is winning the Premier League this season and fighting for the Premier League again the next season? is winning the Premier League on top of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, or winning the Premier League and the like. Is this an attack that you can see as having the tools to really go for it on all the possible trophies that are available? I don't know. I don't. I want to show you guys something real quick. I think this is when I saw this stat, I was very, very disappointed. Look at this. Right here. Arsenal has scored 33 goals in the Premier League. 33. City have scored 43 goals in the Premier League. City has scored 10 more goals than us, while conceding 4 more goals than us. Their goal difference, or no, I'm sorry. They've scored 10 more goals than us. They've allowed 6 more goals than us. Their goal difference is 4 better than us. Look, right here. But you wanna know something funny? Manchester United have scored 32 goals in the Premier League. That is 1 less goal than Arsenal. This is the same Manchester United that we slated at the beginning of the season because they lost to Grimsby. And we said that they were horrible, they're terrible, their offense looks like trash, their midfield looks like trash, their defense is trash. We were trashing on Manchester United. They're in 6th place, and they've scored 1 less goal than ours. Meanwhile, everybody right here, every Arsenal fan would be like, Manchester United, our attack is better than Manchester United's attack. Every single Arsenal fan would say that Arsenal's attack is better than Manchester United's attack. Yet, somehow, Manchester United have scored 1 less goal than Arsenal. And that's not even counting for the own goals that we have scored. Let's see how many own goals, let's see how many Arsenal own goals and Manchester United own goals. Excuse me. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to shock a lot of y'all. Look at this right here. Let's take a look. Arsenal has scored 4 own goals in 2025. 4 own goals in 2025. Manchester United, 2 own goals. And that was their first 2 goals. Were own goals. Can you believe that? We have scored double the own goals that Manchester United has. Yet they have 1 less goal than us. It's crazy. Everybody said that every Arsenal fan would agree that would literally swear on everything they own that our attack is better than Manchester United's attack. Yet somehow Manchester United has their goals is 1 less than ours, and they've had half the own goals scored for them that we have. God, it is a problem. It is a serious problem. This is not normal. No, I know the argument is, oh, but if you keep pushing a team, if you do this, if you keep attacking, yeah, you can cause the own goals. That's fair. But isn't that a little bit concerning? That in the past 4 games, we scored 1 goal from open play and 2 goals by ourselves from our own players. Gyökeres against Everton and Odegaard against Brighton. 2 goals scored for us against Wolves were own goals. The goal against Palace in the Carabao Cup was an own goal. The second goal against Brighton, was an own goal. The Victor Gyökeres one was a penalty. That's madness. That is madness. This attack is just dreadful. It is dreadful. It's so bad. This is not a title-winning attack. It's not a title-winning attack. It's not. It's just not. Our striker cannot get off the board. He cannot get going. Our best player still doesn't look 100% from a few seasons ago. And our left wing, sometimes the guy that Trossard has a good game off the bench. We play him as a starter. He plays okay. You put him back on the bench. He's not happy. He comes off the bench. And he plays good. So, it's just confusing. But look, I'll be the first one to hold up my hand. Okay? Do I love to play? Do I love watching beautiful football? Of course I do. Of course I do. I remember, 2015, 2016 Arsenal. Mesut Ozil in the 10. Giroud, striker. Santi Cazorla. Aaron Ramsey. Jack Wilshere. Theo Walcott. I remember all those players. They played silky smooth football. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm an Arsenal fan today. Because I thought I was absolutely beautiful. It was beautiful football at that time. And I've always said that Arsenal is the team that plays that beautiful, silky football. And so now we're playing this robotic, dead football. Yes, does it pain my heart a little bit? A little bit, yes, it does. But at the same time, if we win the Premier League playing like this, I won't care. But that's if we win the Premier League. Because the past 3 seasons that we've been in a title race, we have not won the Premier League. We've not won the FA Cup. We've not won the Carabao Cup. We've not won the Champions League or the Europa League. So this type of performance is not leading to a trophy. It's not. Right? If we had won a few trophies playing like this, right? Defensive football where the attack looks very lackluster, then I'd hold up my hands and be like, Mikel, you proved me wrong. The players, they proved me wrong. But here's the issue. We haven't won anything playing like this. We have not won anything since COVID. 2020. So clearly it is an issue because we haven't won anything playing like this. So either we have to change how we play, or we just got to hope that we get lucky this time and we win the Premier League, or we win the FA Cup, or we win the Carabao Cup. Is that what we want to really base this off? Is luck? I mean, if you really want to, go for it. But it's football. You have to create your own luck. It doesn't fall on your lap. You have to create that opportunity for it to fall in your lap. Anyway, enough with the philosophy. Let's get into the game. What a weird game. Arsenal 2, Brighton 1. Martin Odegaard, 14th minute, beautiful strike at the edge of the box. Then Diego Gomez gets the little bounce back after his teammate hit the ball and it hit the post. And he slotted it in past David Raya. A lot of people were questioning Declan Rice, saying that could he have done better? Could he have been a little bit more alert to Diego Gomez being around? I think it's a little bit tricky, right? Like, as a defender, somebody kicks the ball, it hits the post. You don't really have a lot of time to, like, react and be like, oh, crap, like, this, it's just hard. Like, people at home can sit back because they're looking at the replays and it's all in slow-mo. But, like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't always look like that in real life, But yeah, and then obviously Declan Rice then puts in a beautiful corner cross, and it's being headed in by Jorginho Rutter. He scores a pretty good header, I can't lie, in his own net. That was a really good finish, I can't lie, which is hilarious. Another own goal. That's 4 own goals that we've scored here in the last, I believe, 5 or 6 games. So that's a little bit hilarious, but also a major concern that I just talked about earlier in the podcast, or earlier in the stream. But hey, we got the win. I can't really say that we dominated this game. Okay, we dominated the first half for sure. And I believe we dominated much of the second half. But domination doesn't mean anything if the other team has pretty solid chances. And Brighton did have pretty solid chances. That save from David Raya is one of the best saves I've ever seen an Arsenal keeper ever make. Genuinely. That's like when Chesney made that save against, I believe it was like Manchester United in like 2012. Right? Like that that was insane. That was a great save from David Raya. And he, honestly, if I'm being honest, David Raya probably gets my man of the match. I think Raya was phenomenal. He was really good. He might get my man of the match. We'll see. Raya was incredible. Yeah, he was. He was really, really good. He's very, very, very good. Yeah, so we had 18 shots in total versus their 8. But 5 shots on target to their 3 shots on target. Like I said, it could have easily been 2-2 if it wasn't for Raya's absolute world class of a save. Like, that was one of the best saves I've ever seen. That was wild. The player shot that with strength, power, and precision, and Raya was able to get that stop. That's very impressive, and that helped us retain all 3 points because that easily should have been a tie. But we'll take that, we'll take the 3 points. Yeah. All right, let's go through player ratings. And I'll be honest, some of these player ratings will be really good, and some of them are going to be very brutal. We're going to start off with David Raya, man of the match. It's between him and Saliba, but I'm going to give it to Raya just solely based off the fact that he was the reason why we got those 3 points. If he did not save that shot, we would be having a meltdown because Manchester City have gone ahead of us by a point, and people are going to start freaking out. So, David Raya, hats off to you. I'm going to give you a 9 out of 10 for that performance. That was a 9 out of 10. The goal, nothing he can really do. It bounced off the woodwork straight to their player. Yeah, as a goalie, right? I mean, yeah, I don't think there was nothing he could have done about the goal. So I'd probably give him. Yeah, I'd give Raya a 9 out of 10. That was very good. That was very phenomenal. That was really, really, really solid. Goalkeeping from Raya. From Raya, excuse me. We'll start with Miles Lewis Skelly. Um, Miles Lewis Skelly wasn't bad. I don't think he did anything exceptional. He kind of just did like, uh, just a regular Miles Lewis Skelly shift. Wasn't anything like too good or too bad. It wasn't terrible. I'd probably give him like a 6 out of 10. Like I don't think he was that great. I don't think he was bad. I thought he was just average. So I'd say maybe a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, I'd say 5.5 out of 10. Hincapié was pretty solid again as a center back. I'm still a little bit nervous when he's on the ball. I can't lie, and I think he's a little bit nervous himself when he is on the ball. Um, but yeah, uh, I did like him though when he did play left back. I thought he was really good on the left there. Like that was a really good shift from him. And I think that was one of the things that would give him a higher score is the fact that he played left back and he was really good. I could easily see a back four of Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Hincapié. I think that should be our strongest back four going forward. That's just my opinion. But I would give Hincapié probably like a 6 out of 10. I'd give him a 6.5 out of. No, I'm gonna give him a 6.5 out of 10 because I feel like the half was from his shift at left back, which I thought he was pretty solid at. So I'll give him a 6.5 out of 10. Saliba. I mean, what is there to say about Saliba that has not been said? World class. He plays the game like he's on easy mode. He's just so good, so phenomenal. I don't think there was anything he could do about the goal. He was really involved in it. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he was really good. Yeah, good stuff from Saliba. Declan Rice. Declan Rice is a right back. I remember when I first saw the lineup, and then obviously with the Calafiori injury and like a little shakeup, I was like shocked because like I was like, man, this is not something that Arteta would really do, right? He wouldn't do this, but Declan Rice at right back wasn't bad. I thought he was pretty solid. I can't lie, I do not want to see it again, primarily because our midfield looked woeful without Declan Rice there. And I don't know if that's a sacrifice we could really make to put Rice as the right back. I don't know. I don't know if that's something I would like to do going forward. Let's see here. So, from what I heard, is that Jurgen Timber did not play today because they were trying to they were trying to manage his game time and how much games he was playing and all that kind of stuff. So that's the reason why Rice ended up becoming the right back. So obviously it's not going to be something that's going to happen quite often, obviously, right? But it possibly could be something that happens here and there. So we'll see. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, mainly because it was Rice was good. He was good at the right back position. Don't get me wrong. He was phenomenal. He was shutting everything down. He was making the right tackles. It was the fact that our midfield just looked terrible without Rice there. And that's why I'm like, I think Rice could easily be a PFA Player of the Year candidate if we win the title. The man is needed everywhere. He's needed to start attacks. He's needed to defend. He's needed to hold up and play in the middle. Like, he's needed for a lot of things. He's needed for a lot of players to be successful. Like, if we had 2 or 3 Declan Rice, this club would win the Premier League with a 20-point advantage. I'm serious. We would win the Premier League with a 20-point advantage. That's how good Declan Rice is. Unfortunately, we only have one Declan Rice, and I don't know if we can afford to have this Declan Rice playing as a right back, especially when he's very much needed, right, in the center mid position. So, but I'm going to give Declan Rice a 7. I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. That was a really good performance from Declan Rice. Declan Rice, 7.5 out of 10. That was very good. He put in a really good shift. So 7.5 out of 10. Martin Zubimendi, I thought he was pretty quiet. He did not have the same impact that Rice has in that position, if I'm being completely honest. At times he just looks lightweight, and it just looks like he's trying to foul players when he's playing defense. And I'm like, brother, like, you're gonna get booked. Like, I'm so shocked sometimes when he doesn't get booked. I'm like, this guy's doing a blatant foul. Like, how is he not getting booked? But that's just how it feels like he plays defense. Is that he's just fouling players in hopes to stop them. I'm like, you can't keep doing that. You're gonna get sent off one of these days. I'm gonna give Zubimendi a 5 out of 10. I thought he was pretty okay. Nothing great, nothing bad. He didn't really play that well, or he didn't really like. It wasn't a like for like in the midfield with Declan Rice missing, in my opinion. So yeah, I'd give him a 5 out of 10. Mikel Merino. Oh, Mikel Merino, brother. Mikel Merino. Mikel Merino, brother. I'll be honest. I think it was the Brentford game when Mikel Merino scored that goal. I said, this guy's one of the most confusing players I've ever seen. Because he'll play out of position in the number 9 position, right? One of the hardest positions to play in football, by the way. One of the hardest positions to play in football. The number 9 position. Or false 9, however you want to think about it. False 9 is still a very hard position to play, right? Especially in a team that like finds it difficult to create, to score many goals like we do at times. So it's a tough position to play. This guy bags goals. He scores goals left, right, and center. Right? Headers, curlers, whatever you want, with his foot, whatever. He's scoring goals when he plays up front. I'm like, this man is like, I mean, he's got like 30 GA in 2025. Like, that's crazy. But I see this man playing in the midfield, and I'm like, Mikel Merino. What the heck is going on, bro? You know how people say that professional football players, they're a lot better than a lot of us fans think. Like, the worst professional football players, we probably could not touch them with a 9-inch pole. Like these professionals will run around us. I truly think the average Joe on the street could keep up with Mikel Merino as a midfielder. The man is so slow. He's so slow. He plays like 0.25 x speed. He plays so damn slow. It takes him 30 seconds just to turn with the ball. I thought Odegaard was bad at times. Mikel Merino was like 10 times worse. It's like, dude, you're playing so slow. You're a professional football player in a fast-paced, physical league. Half the time, you're rolling around on the grass. The other half, he's playing so slow. You know, it takes him forever to pass the ball. It takes him forever to dribble. It takes him forever to turn. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes he has great passes. Like he'll pass the ball. I guess it was like against Crystal Palace where it was like a phenomenal pass. Yeah, he has good passes. He's good hold-up play. Like I'm just saying in midfield, as a midfield player, as a center mid, he plays so slow, lethargic. Like the opposite of what a center mid is supposed, or how a center mid is supposed to play, is how this guy plays. I'm like, dude, my gosh, you're a professional football player. Seriously, you're a football player. How in God's green earth are you that slow? That's mental. He's like a ship in the ocean. Facts. He is. He's like a ship in the ocean. I'm like, buddy, can you not run a little faster? Can you not turn a little faster? He's just quiet. He doesn't offer anything in the midfield. 5 out of 10 from Mikel Merino, bruh. 5 out of 10. That was not a good display by Mikel Merino. That was not a good midfield display by this guy. I expected way better from him, bruh. It's either we just play him up front as a sub or as a starter, or don't play him at all. I do not want to see this guy in midfield, especially with Zubimendi and Odegaard. With no Rice? Absolutely not. Don't ever do that again, Mikel Arteta. Don't ever do that again. Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard was very solid today, in my opinion. Scored a great goal. You know, kept pushing the ball. Kept going for it. Kept trying new things. I thought Odegaard was very good today. I'd give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he's pretty solid. He was pretty good. Odegaard was pretty good today. I hope that this gives him the confidence to keep shooting and possibly trying to score more goals, because we need as many goals as we possibly can get. Okay, at this point, own goals is like the way it seems like we're trying to score and win the league. You can't do that. We need, okay, we need these goals. Okay. Leandro Trossard. Trossard, I don't know, man. Some days, I just look at Trossard and I'm like, yeah, it makes sense why you're a bench player. Yeah, it makes sense why you come off the bench. Yeah, it makes sense why the Brighton manager got rid of you. Like, and there's other days where I'm like, holy cow, this is one of the best clutch players I've ever seen. Like, this guy scores whenever we need goals. Today was one of those, like, yeah, I understand why you're a bench player. I mean, the guy was not offering anything. He just didn't have the pace to beat a lot of the Brighton fullbacks. He was getting booed every time he touched the ball by the Brighton fans. yada yada. It just was not Trossard's day. This was definitely a game that Martinelli needed to come in, and he did. You just saw how much more faster the pace was compared to Trossard. Just unfortunately, sometimes Trossard is just not fast enough for certain games, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I would probably put Trossard as like a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Just here, he was there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a time where he just blatantly accidentally kicked. Not blatantly, but he just accidentally kicked the ball out of bounds, and I was like, okay, well, that's. And he was trying to do some sort of touch or something, and he just kicked it out of bounds. I was like, all right, well, this is not what we need right now, is it? This is not what we need, Trossard. Yeah, 5.5 out of Trossard. I'm gonna skip this one for now, because I've got a lot to talk about. We're gonna skip this for now, and we're gonna go to Saka. Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka. Starboy. Hail End. I'm in a little situation. I'm in a little bit of a pickle with Saka. A portion of my mind says Saka is one of the best players at Arsenal. He's one of the best players of this Arsenal generation, right? I'm talking like COVID and beyond. Saka has pulled us out of many tight spots. He's won us big games. He took the team on his shoulders after Aubameyang left. These are all facts. Any Arsenal fan will agree with you. Saka is a superstar to many of us, and that's just how I feel. But there's a portion of me that just thinks, I don't know if you deserve that $300K a week contract. I don't know. There's something missing. There's something we need from Saka. I'm going to be honest with you. There are some things we need from Saka. There's some things Saka's missing. Number one, the ability to beat his man. Like Madueke does. Like Martinelli sometimes does. And I think it comes down to the fact that Saka no longer has the pace, it seems like, since his hamstring injuries. And that is not a fault of his, right? But the amount of times I saw Saka do the exact same move. Who drive down the touchline, cut in the edge of the box, and try to shoot on his left, and it gets blocked easily by the keeper or a defender, was infuriating. Frustrating. Okay. Excuse me. Saka, my boy. You gotta have another move in your bucket. Maybe try your weaker foot. Maybe try to cross the ball with your right foot. I understand you're left foot dominant. I understand that. But you gotta try something with your weak foot. They've gotta have you doing like weak foot drills in practice. Because the amount of times I saw this dude kick the ball at a defender's legs or at the keeper's chest or something where it's just easily saved was super frustrating. You can't keep doing the same moves over and over and over and over and over again, brother. You've got to do something different. The defenders are going to know what you're going to do. And it makes it easy to defend you. You have to switch up your arsenal. I'll be honest with you. You have to. Because every time Saka gets the ball, right? It's like Robin. You know he's going to cut into his left and shoot it. But unlike Robin, yours isn't like cash money every single time. Right? Robin's was cash money. You hit that, it's going in, top ends. But that's not you're not yours isn't doing that, Saka. It's not. So maybe instead of, I don't know, cutting into your left, maybe cross it with your right. Maybe shoot with your right. You scored a goal against Sunderland with your right foot. You gotta trust your right foot more, brother. And so that's where I am right now. I look at Saka and I'm like, you are a star boy. You're phenomenal. You're amazing. I love you. But I need more from you, bruh. I need, like, there's something more I need from you. There's something more that I know you can achieve. I know it. I know it's there. I know. Saka. Brother. You gotta try a new move. That cut at the edge of the 18-yard box to shoot with your left or to pass with your left. It's almost like it's been figured out or something. I don't know. But the amount of times I saw it get blocked, I was like, what? He's got to pick like a different move to use. I'm just being honest, bro. And there's a few, look, and don't get me wrong. He was phenomenal. He was still doing his thing in this game because he passed the ball to Martinelli on a plate, and this guy missed. I was like, how do you miss that? I'm scoring goals like that in my indoor soccer league. How are you missing that? Sorry I called it soccer. But that's how frustrated I am. But, Saka, I'm going to give you a 6 out of 10 because you did have an assist to Odegaard. That was a beautiful, or I guess it was just a good assist. Well, you saw Odegaard there. It was pretty much Odegaard that did create that goal. But he got the assist, which is good. He laid it on a plate for Martinelli. He fucked that up. So I'll give Saka a 6 out of 10. But I do want more from Saka, especially if he's going to sign this new contract. Now, I'm not an accountant. I didn't major in accounting in college. I understand that. But there does come a certain amount of responsibility on your soldiers. Your shoulders. Jesus, I can't speak. Right? You're making $300K a week, brother. The responsibility's on you. You got to pull this team out of the gutter. So, I need more from Saka. But I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Mainly because of that assist. If not, it could have been 5. Okay. You know what? We're going to give him a 6.5 out of 10 because of the assist. It would probably have been a 6 out of 10 without the assist. So I think 6 out of 10 is pretty fair. Victor Gyökeres. I'm gonna look up his full name. His full government name. This is serious. Guys, this is very serious. We're looking up his full government name. Because something's gotta happen. Something has got to happen. We need something to happen. I'm serious. Something has got to happen. Something has got to happen. All right, look, we found his full name. According to Wikipedia, his full name is Victor Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres. Brother. What is going on, Victor? What is going on, Victor? You scored 100 goals in 2 seasons. Granted, it was in the Premier Division League, which is the Portuguese league, I believe. I think that's ranked like 7th or 8th best league in the world, right? Still a high league, but it's not a top 5 league in Europe, and it certainly ain't the Premier League, which is ranked, I believe, number 1 by a good margin. But Victor Ayanara Gyökeres, buddy, you need to lock in. Okay? I was excited when we signed you. I was doing this. I was doing that, Gyökeres. I was doing this. I was doing your celebration. I was hyped for Gyökeres. Hyped! I was so excited for Gyökeres. But, buddy, I'm seeing the football bounce off your knee, your leg, like it's a little dodgeball. Where is your control? Where's your hold-up play? People say you're not getting service, and I agreed. But you get a ball through to you in the first 2 minutes of the game, and you hit it like that, right at the keeper, you were a gunman. Hell, if you had hit it, if you had tried to chip him, or if you had hit it hard and it hit the woodwork, or it went over the goal, or just slightly missed, I would have understood it a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, I still would have been like, you were one-on-one with the keeper, you should have scored. But I would have understood it a little bit more. Brother, you passed it to the keeper, essentially. You just literally passed it to him. Victor Ayanara Gyökeres. That's unacceptable. Buddy, that is unacceptable. You are a gunman striker. You have to act like one, bro. You are a striker that scores goals. Goals. That's all you're looking for. When you get an opportunity to do so, you need to take advantage of it. Because in this squad, unfortunately, you're not going to get 20, 10, 5, 3 chances to score. You're going to get at most 2. Got to do what you can. You got to be like Holland. He gets 2 chances. He scores at least one of them. But that's not the only thing. Victor, you are a Premier League striker. Why in God's green earth are you always on the wrong side of the defender? Nah. Seriously. Why is Victor Gyökeres always on the other side of his defender? Saka is crossing the ball in, and the defender gets to clear easily because you're on the other side of him. Why? Make the near post run. What are you doing, buddy? This is stuff you learn in like the 4th grade, the 3rd grade. You learn about striker movements. If the ball is coming in this way, and your defender's right here, you need to go from this side and switch over here. So the ball gets to you first before it gets to the defender. The amount of times I've seen this guy on the wrong side of his defender. I'm like, buddy, what are you doing? This is not a world-class striker that they were talking about. Like, bruh. And I've seen it so many times. I'm sorry. I gotta talk about it. I've seen it so many times. Him being on the wrong side of his strike of the defender. And I'm like, you're not gonna score like that, because the only way it will get to you is if it's like picture perfect pass that somehow finds its way to you. Let me see if I can find this. I'm trying to find this. I think it was disabled. But there's a let me see if I can find it. There's a video of Victor Gyökeres being on the wrong side of his man when a cross comes in and the defender hits it easily. And I'm like, bruh, you gotta. All right, hold on. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. This is off Twitter. Look at this. Look at this video. We're not gonna play with sound because I don't want to get in trouble. Here you go. Look at this. This is Saka, right here. Look. Gyökeres. Okay, good. Look. Look at where Saka is. Look at where Saka is with the ball. And look at where Gyökeres is. Now, there is a possibility that Saka could go all the way, you know, and like square perfectly around this defender, and Gyökeres can slot it in. That is a possibility. Right? But it's probably very unlikely. Why? Because it doesn't happen. So instead of cutting your run here and getting on the other side of your defender, right here, right? Just get on the other side of your defender right here, so that when the ball comes in, look at where he is. He's right there with the defender. Look, right there. You cannot be right there. You need to be right here on the other side of the defender where the ball is. Look. Look where he is. And so the ball gets hit. Or it gets cleared right away. Here, we'll watch it again. Watch the full thing. Look. Look at this. Saka's right there. Yep. Gyökeres. I mean, are we serious? Guys, are we serious? Anybody who's ever played soccer or football or whatever the hell you call it and has played the striker or an attacker position knows that you got to get on the other side of your player, of your defender. It's the defender's job to make sure that you don't do that, and it's your job to make sure that you do that. And that's where the battle happens. But in this Gyökeres doesn't even try. Look, he's still over here. He's still over here. That's what I was saying, Gyökeres. Unfortunately, and it is unfortunate, we don't really know how to play with a gunman out and out striker since Aubameyang. We're more used to a false nine. But the small chances you are given, like a cross from Saka, like that, you have to put yourself in a scoring position. You're not going to get 20 of these so you can figure out that, oh, next time I'm supposed to cut in on this side and get on this side of the defender. No. You got to learn. You got to do that right away. Here, Saka gets the ball. Here, you should have been trying to cut into the space right here. You should have still done it right here. Should have done it right there. And at this point, the opportunity is gone. Again. We'll play it again. Look. Right here. Cut in. Cut in, Victor. Cut in. Nope. And so that's my main issue with Gyökeres. You're not going to get a lot of chances to score on this team because we don't play fluid football that helps an out-and-out striker. But you have to take the chances you get. It's unfortunate, but you have to. Chances like the first one that you had in like the first 2 minutes of the game, or chances of Saka trying to square the ball to you. You need to cut in on the other side of your defender so when the ball comes in, you get the ball first. I'm giving Victor Gyökeres a 2 out of 10. Victor Gyökeres a 2 out of 10. And I don't care what anybody thinks. You are a striker. You are a gunman. You need to score goals. That's what you were brought in for. You gotta start scoring goals, brother. Because at this rate, if Kai Havertz comes back, he's probably going to take the starting spot. And that's... Us Arsenal fans, we didn't think that was going to be a reality. We thought, oh, Gyökeres will keep Havertz out of the spot. You make that spot his own, and Havertz would be coming on for those little pity 20, 15 minutes in a game. We won't be surprised if Gyökeres is getting 15, 20 minutes a game when Kai Havertz comes back. You had a month since your last injury, right? What was that, Villa? Was a month? When did he come back? Was that Villa when he came back? That was what, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? We've had, what, 6 games since? Nothing. You gotta do better, Gyökeres. You gotta. These are things that I know you know. But you have to take this serious, bro. This is the Premier League. This is the most physical league in the world. You're not going to be able to just bully these defenders like you did in Portugal. It's unfortunate. Have I given up hope? No. Because at the end of the day, Gyökeres is an Arsenal player. And every single Arsenal player that plays for Arsenal will get my respect. And I will always encourage them to do the best they can. And I'll do everything I can to support them. But have I, like for example, I haven't given up 100% hope. Like I'm not just saying, but it is waning. It is like what you gotta lock in, Victor. You've got to. I'm losing a little bit of hope every single day, every single game that we play, and you're not taking those chances. Is rough. And I understand you don't get much, but you have to do the best with what you are given, unfortunately. That's just how it is. But I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Victor Gyökeres, honestly, I'll give him a 3 out of 10. A 3 out of 10, like, what, 2, 3, doesn't really matter. 3 out of 10. That was a terrible game from him. Substitutes. Okay, let's see what we got here. Gabriel Magalhaes. Yeah, I was so happy when he came back on. I know they had said he's gonna be back in like January, like mid-January. So for him to be back this early is pretty impressive, and I am very happy about that. I thought he played really well. I'm gonna give him a solid 7 out of 10. I don't care. I'm just happy he's back, and I hope he stays healthy and continues like right where he left off. Uh, but yeah, I was very happy he was here. But yeah. What else? Yeah, so Yucker, Big Gabby, I'm gonna give him a 7. I'm gonna give him a 6.5 out of 10. I feel like 7's a little high. 6.5 out of 10. I was just really happy that he's back. It's good to see him back on the field. Arsenal needs him for sure, and I'm happy that he is back. Gabriel Jesus. He looked lively when he came on. I thought he did better than Gyökeres in terms of hold up play and whatnot, but obviously he wasn't really a threat on goal. Again, that's kind of Gabriel Jesus' main issue. He's that he does everything perfect except for scoring goals. 6 out of 10. Nothing too crazy. Gabriel Martinelli, I can't lie, Martinelli, brother. That missed chance you had, that was outrageous, brother. That was absolutely outrageous. The one from Saka. How do you miss that, bro? That was on a plate. Jeez. Yeah, that was not good. But I mean, aside from that, he worked hard, had some good defense plays. Did his press, whatever. I'll probably give him a 6 out of 10 also. Jesus. All right, we're gonna have to talk about this. We're gonna talk about this. Hold on. We're gonna have to talk about this. Ethan Waneri, Eberechi Eze, Nani Madueke. Victor Hate is forced. Give him time. Bro, how much time does this guy need? The season started in August. It's December. It's almost 5 months now. How much time does he need? 4 months? Almost 5 months? How much time does Victor need? But look, regardless, he's got the second half to turn around. If he turns it around in the second half of the season and we win the Premier League, I will not be complaining. I will eat my words and I will apologize to him. Absolutely. Absolutely, I will. I will apologize. I'm the first person to say I'm sorry. I was too early on you, whatever. But he's got it. But if he doesn't, then I'm telling you right now, you sell him. I don't know, maybe in the summer or in the winter of next season, and cut your losses. Or you let him stay and try something new with him. I don't know. But you can't play him like this for multiple seasons. It's not going to work out. Yeah, it just won't. If it's not a fit, it's not a fit. If Victor and Arsenal don't fit together, they just don't fit together. That's what it is. Ethan, but I'm back to what I was saying. Ethan Waneri, Abricha Eze, Nani Madueke. What is going on at Arsenal Football Club where 3 players, where every single person will say that they could start for most teams in the Premier League, can't even get minutes? What's going on this team? What is going on, guys? Another one, Norgard. Ethan Waneri, Abricha Eze, Nani Madueke, Norgard. What is going on? The coach doesn't even play Ethan Waneri. Okay. You know, we complained about it. We said, like, what's going on? He's doing him dirty, whatever. Some people say, oh, it might be the age. How do we fit him in the team? Yada, yada, yada. Now, he doesn't even bring on Eze. And many people said, well, Eze has not been performing well. You know, he's a little bit lackluster. He doesn't seem like he's giving 110% effort. Okay. Nani Madueke scores a brace in the Champions League against Club Brugge. He scores a wonderful goal from outside the box. And now all of a sudden, he's barely getting any game time. Meanwhile, Saka's playing damn near 90 minutes, game in and game out. Why is Madueke not getting game time? Why is Eze not getting game time? Why is Waneri not getting game time? Why is Christian Norgard not getting game time? What is going on, bro? No. Could it be rotation? Okay. But why is it some players rotate and others don't? Why is Declan Rice playing every single game, every single minute? Why is Saka playing so many games, so many minutes? Timber finally got a rest today. But before that, he was playing every single minute, every single game. But yet, some players, like Nani Madueke, Aberichi Eze, Ethan Waneri, Christian Norgard, don't come on for multiple competitions, multiple games and competitions. Christian Norgard plays on Tuesday against Crystal Palace. You look pretty solid. You're telling me you can't bring him on for 10 minutes? Abericha Eze, you can't bring him on for 10 minutes? Nani Madueke, you can't bring him on for 10 minutes? And Ethan Waneri, oh my gosh. If Ethan Waneri does not go out on loan this January, and like there's some excuse like, oh, he's a vital part of our squad, yada yada yada. If I'm his agent, I'm asking to terminate that contract ASAP. As soon as possible. Because the stunt in his player development is occurring right now. Ethan Waneri does not deserve the treatment he's getting. Unless Arteta comes out and states the reason why Ethan Waneri is not getting game time, it is absolutely unfair the way he's treating him. And even if he does come out and state a reason, like disciplinary, whatever, and he's not resolved that disciplinary issue, loan him. Loan him to Bournemouth, to Brighton, to Brentford. Loan him. Because you are stunting the growth of what could potentially be a generational Arsenal player. It is mad that I say this every single stream. Every single stream. I say this. I say, Ethan Nwaneri, where is he? Where is Ethan Nwaneri? What is happening? How long is he going to be shut out of this team? This is a guy that had 11 GA last season at the age of 17. He was scoring vital goals for us in the Champions League, in the Premier League. And now all of a sudden he can't even get 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes in the Premier League. What is going on? You are seriously telling me that Ethan Nwaneri cannot get 10 minutes against Brighton so we can score that third goal? Really? Really? Ethan Nwaneri is being disrespected like I've never seen a player being disrespected at Arsenal Football Club. Chelsea. I have seen Chelsea disrespect players like this, and Arsenal fans have always slated Chelsea. Remember Trevor Chalobah? Literally the way Chelsea treated Chalobah, locked him out of their whatever from being able to access club facilities. Then finally they loaned him out, and then when they needed players, they brought him back in. As if they didn't just treat him like garbage. Remember how we slated Chelsea for that? I slated Chelsea for that. I say, how do you treat a player that came out of your academy like that, Chelsea? Well, guess what? We're doing the exact same thing to Ethan Nwaneri. You don't bring him on in the Carabao Cup. You don't bring him on in the Champions League. You don't bring him on in the Premier League. You don't bring him on when you need a goal. You don't bring him on when we need a moment of magic. You don't bring him on when we need attacking power. You don't bring him on. You're seriously going to tell me with a straight face that Ethan Nwaneri is worse than Mikel Merino in the midfield? With a straight face. Any person with a straight face that can sit there and say Ethan Nwaneri is worse than Mikel Merino in the midfield, you got to go get yourself checked. Go to your local hospital and get yourself checked. Because I watch Mikel Merino stink up the midfield week in, week out and get 90 minutes. Where if you look at his highlights, it consists of him rolling around the grass like he's a roly-poly, turning like he's a cruise ship trying to make a 360 turn in the middle of the Caribbean Ocean, and passing the ball and Thy Kingdom Come. And you're telling me that Ethan Nwaneri is worse than that? And even if you think, he tries too much stuff, he loses the ball, all right, then put him in for 10 minutes. Or put him in for the first 45 minutes and take him off at halftime. Damn it, put him in sometime. The kid is one of our own. He's played for Arsenal Football Club since he was a little kid. He's never played for another club. He knows what the badge means. You gonna disrespect him like that? And you gonna let Mikel Merino stink up the midfield? Really? Mad disrespectful. And then let's put the Ethan Waneri stuff to the side for a second, because we've talked about it a lot. Eze, what's going on? Don't get me wrong, Eze has not been playing great the past few games, but now he doesn't even play at all. Unused subbed against Brighton? What? He's our $60 million let it all work out signing. And you can't even give him $60 million. And you can't even give him 16 minutes? 60 minutes? 6 minutes? Nothing? He doesn't play against Crystal Palace. He doesn't play against Brighton. What is this? Early Christmas? Did Eze get an early Christmas? Did he get a prolonged Christmas? Did he get an extended Christmas? What could possibly be the reason why Eze is not even coming on as a sub? I don't even... If he's not starting, whatever, I understand. He's not been playing great. But he's not even being used as a sub? What's going on, bro? What's going on? Alright, let's put the Eze stuff to the side. Nani Madueke. What is going on at this football club? Nani Madueke has gone from starting every week in the beginning of the season. He gets injured. That's fine. Comes back. Scores some goals. Scores against Bayern. Scores a brace against Club Brugge. And all of a sudden, the brother can't get any minutes in the last few games. Did he even play against Crystal Palace? I don't think he did. Genuinely. Did he play against Crystal Palace? Let's see. He did? Alright. He did play against Crystal Palace. Then he was hooked off, and Saka came in. But against Brighton, we can't do the opposite, where Saka comes off and Madueke goes in, right? So you keep your players fresh. Stop over usage of players. Stop people from getting injured. No? And then we'll wonder why in about 4 months why Saka's injured again. Or Rice. Or Zubamendi. What the hell is going on, bro? Look. The last hope I got is as for rotation. I don't know. My last hope is that this is rotation. Yeah. It's gotta be rotation. Yeah. I don't know about Ethan though, yeah? I don't know. Like, that's what I'm holding on to, is that he's rotating because we have so many competitions, right? We have the Carabao Cup, Champions League, Premier League, then we got the FA Cup coming in. Then he's probably just trying to designate each player as, like, you're going to play this competition. But at the same time, other players play damn near every competition. Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Zubamendi. So he's not really consistent in that. But I'm hoping that it is for rotation. because Madueke not playing today didn't make any sense. Norgard not playing today made no sense, right? Could have slotted in Norgard as your defensive midfielder. Ebericheze not playing. Could have put him in as a Odegaard replacement. Nope. Well, like, I don't know. I'm hoping that it's rotation, and that he's just doing that because of all the competitions that were in this season. And if that's it, then I completely understand. Right? That's smart. We gotta rotate. I do wish he was a little bit more consistent with all the rotations. Like Declan Rice should also get rotated. Martin Zubimendi should get rotated. Bukayo Saka should get rotated, right? So I hope he stays consistent in that regards. But that's the last hope. But with Ethan though, I don't know. I don't know how you explain Ethan Winter not playing. It doesn't make sense. There's times where we could use his attacking powers. It just nothing. So I don't know. If anybody's got a good explanation as to why Ethan Waneri is not playing, I'm all ears. Because I don't think there is one. I just think that he's fallen out of favors with the manager. It might be a disciplinary reason or some other thing. The manager, I don't know if he's waiting for Ethan's apology or what. Or if he's just going to not play him for the rest of the season as a way to show him punishment. But if I was him, if you feel that way, loan him to another Premier League club or overseas, whatever, and let him continue to develop. That's simple. You do a 2-for-1. He doesn't play for Arsenal for disciplinary, but he still goes out and plays and keeps getting that experience and whatnot. You don't let your ego and whatever stunt this great player. That would be a huge mistake, Mikel. A huge mistake. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel for Ethan. All right, this is the table as it stands right now. Everybody's played 18 except for obviously the people that played on Sunday. We are top of the league table by 2 points. Villa. Oh. Villa's in a title race, guys. I don't care what anybody says. They are in a title race. Like, this is we're going to have to watch out for Villa also on top of Man City. So, we'll see. They did beat Chelsea. So, yeah, you got to think about that. Yeah, so they're only 3 points behind us. Oh, boy. Okay, so our next game is Aston Villa, who is in third. Beautiful. So, essentially, if we lose this game, we are in deep trouble because we will be tied with Aston Villa, and I don't know who Man City plays. They play Sunderland. So, if they beat Sunderland and we don't beat Aston Villa, Man City will go ahead of us, and Aston Villa will be tied for us for second. That is a tough situation to be in because I don't know how you come back from that. There's a possibility, but at that point, we would be fighting two teams for that title race. You know, that's rough. Can we do it? I do believe we can beat Aston Villa at home, right? They were out. It was at their ground, right? And it took them a last minute to beat us. I thought a tied result would have probably been better, right? A draw would have been better, but it is what it is. That's not what the final score says. But yeah, we have to win the game against Aston Villa. I believe it's on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. We have to. If we don't, we are in big trouble. Yeah. No, sorry, Tuesday. So we play ahead of Man City. So if we beat Aston Villa, we have a chance to obviously go 5 points ahead of Man City and knock Villa out by going 6 points ahead of them. So that'll be great, right? For 2 days, and obviously Man City plays on Thursday, and we'll see what the result is from there. But it will be, a huge boost if we can win this and kind of create a little separation. Because what happens if Sunderland does get a result against Man City, right? Then we start thinking, okay, right? There's possibilities. But first things first, we have to win that game. A tie is not good. A loss is worse. A win is the only acceptable result, and we have to come out with a win. It is very important that we do. And then obviously after that we have Bournemouth, and then we have Liverpool, and we have Portsmouth in the FA Cup, and then we have Chelsea in the EFL Cup, Nottingham Forest. So we have essentially in a span of a month, in the month of January, we are in 4 competitions, similar to what we were last season. So we have the EFL Cup, the EFL Cup, the FA Cup, Champions League, and Premier League. So that's gonna be interesting. But that's what squad depth is for. Let's go through Mikel Arteta, presser. Mikel Arteta on if injuries are uniting the group. Yes, because as well there are injuries with Jurian. He landed awkwardly. Okay, so Jurian Timber does have an injury. There's something with Richie as well. Very, very strange. But you speak to Declan and tell him he needs to play there as a right winger. And he said, okay, I'm up for the challenge. I'm going to do my best. And the attitude is great to win us. That's good, Mikel. I just hope Declan Rice doesn't get injured because we are in some big trouble if that happens. Here you go. On having to be reactive to a player getting injured in the warm-up. No, it's something that we have prepared because we know that it can happen. When I give the lineup, I always tell the boys and the day before is be ready because this is football. This is the Premier League, and anything can happen. Somebody can get a bug, and an hour later he cannot play, and you have to be in the right mental frame to be able to perform immediately, and it'll go through that disappointment, and that's what the players are doing. On Calafiori's injury, it's something that he felt yesterday. It's something very awkward that happened, and today in the warm-up he wasn't comfortable. So not really sure what it is. Not very descriptive from Mikel Arteta. On the last time we felt comfortable in a game, that's an interesting question. Comfortable in this league, that's a big word. When the scoreline is bigger, but hopefully I don't have to use it that often. Fair enough. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Nothing more in regards to anything. So I guess something happened with Calafiori, and Jurian has an injury where he landed awkwardly. So there's that. Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty much our fixtures and Mikel Arteta's post match presser on this game. I'm a bit nervous, especially the Aston Villa game. I'm going to do my best to do a watch along for that on Tuesday. But I am nervous because Aston Villa is very good. They're very good, and their attack is getting there. And they're a boogie team, and if we do anything but win, we have already started to dig ourselves a little bit of a grave. I don't want to think about that, but I can't lie, I am a bit nervous. I'm also a bit nervous about how much games we have to play in January. It's a lot of games. Can't lie. That's a lot of games that we're going to have to play. And I am glad that we are getting players back, and I do hope that the players we get back are staying healthy, and the players that we already had are keep being healthy, because we're gonna need it with all that we're having to play. It and I'm a little bit nervous about our attack. Our attack is not the most fluid. You look at Man City, you look at Aston Villa, you even look at Manchester United, and their attack just seems a little bit more fluid than our attack. It almost feels like we have to work so hard to get our points, whereas other teams, they just play their game and are able to come out with a result. That's what it feels like sometimes. But who knows? Maybe that's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just like a little Debbie Downer spirit. And if that's the case, then I do apologize. But I am a bit nervous. I have watched my team in, 6, 7, 8 title races in the past 15 to 20 years. Right? And every one of them, we have fallen flat. Every one of them. And it doesn't matter if it was Arsene Wenger, and we had Fabregas and Van Persie, or if we had Giroud and Ozil, or if we had Martin Odegaard and Saka and Gabriel Jesus. Doesn't matter. We've fallen flat multiple times. And so that's why I'm nervous. That's all I can say. But, yeah. Well, yeah, anyway, so that is about it for me today, folks. Been live for almost 2 hours. Wow. But yeah, thank you guys all who came in and watched the stream. I appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, I will try to live stream the Aston Villa versus Arsenal game on Tuesday. That will be, I believe, 1 o'clock U.S. time. Let me double check. 1:15. So it'll be 1:15 my time, which is the Mountain Standard Time in the U.S., which I believe is 6 hours behind the U.K. 7 hours? It might be 7 hours behind the UK. I think it's around 8 o'clock that time that the game was going to happen. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to try my best to record it, live stream it. But yeah, I appreciate each and every one of y'all who stopped by. You know, whether you see me for the first time or you are a reoccurring viewer, I appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, if you guys enjoy this content, want to see more of my videos, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me if you guys do so. I appreciate each and every one of y'all who have already done so, and to all those who will do so in the future. I hope y'all have a wonderful Sunday, and peace.